Oh, it's working good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Snowball Effect. All Darwin, all the time. Joining me today as my co-hosts are the Director TV and Rabid Mongoose. We couldn't get anyone else, so we got stuck with Grimy. So he's here, top 100. So, all right, guys.
Why am I here?
Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves here. I guess I'll start here. Most of you know me from Darwin. I've been a Quake player for a long time. That's where my competitive background comes from. For the last 20 years, I'm the old one in this group. Maybe Rabid's close. I don't know. So, Director, what about you?
What's up?
Oh my God, is it freezing again?
I am the director. Yeah, it looks
good.
frozen.
No,
on
we're
my
good.
end.
We're good. It's
No,
just
good.
slightly lagged for some reason there.
I got you. Director TTV here. Been directing Darwin since the dark ages, dude. I've been out here grinding these games. Before they took away how many matches played, I was up there. I had a decent amount. First hit 1 and 2K. I don't got Rabid's voice, but I kind of meme. I'm just like one of the homies, so that's what I like to do. So thank you for having me for it. It is exciting. I'm so excited. I'm super excited.
Yes. Rabid? Let's hear it.
What is up, guys? My name is Rabid Mongoose. Also been in the Darwin scene for a while. I bought the game the second day that you could pay $15 for it. So I've been around since the beginning of the pay-to-play beta. I'm a director main, normally cast quite a few tournaments with my friend Director TTV over here. Pretty much a big fan of the competitive scene. Really enjoy watching the competitions every other week. Really enjoy watching all of the top 100 players, and also Grimy sometimes when he sneaks his way in there. So really excited for the future of Darwin on the competitive side and on the analyst side with the other directors.
Grimy?
I just want to start out by saying I will not. I'm putting my foot down. Okay. I grinded I may be a free-to-play player, but I grinded 500 matches in the reset. Thank you. Okay. I put my life into this game.
All right.
And I want my respect. Okay. Okay.
What are you sitting at now?
I've made my impact. Okay.
What are you
That's
sitting
why
at
I'm
now?
here.
What are you, top 100, top 50? What do you know?
I'm top 20. I don't know, somewhere.
Oh,
I'm
there
like
you go.
Savage, dude.
What's your best
15.
what's your best tournament placement?
I won a tournament.
No, there you
Not
go.
top 100, but I won a tournament.
Oh well.
I was gonna say,
you don't have
which one,
the
dude?
elusive gold helmet.
Are we talking about top 100? Top
Yeah.
100, I got third in my group last top 100. That was the best I've done in my group.
Oh, so you got
So
the
I didn't
silver.
make finals, but
Oh no, you don't
no,
have
no,
you don't
not
have
group.
either.
No,
Oh my God.
no, I'm a
You
scrub.
better chase
Don't worry,
that.
I'm washed.
You better chase it.
Look, I'm trying.
All right. So before we get into all this Darwin stuff, I know recently, and I don't want to touch too much on it because we all talked about this earlier, and we don't want to get too much into it. But Jacksonville was a horrible, terrible thing that happened, and I've been saying, as far as my experience goes, and events I've been to, and stages I've competed on. To me, a badge is not enough. When you show up, they pretty much just check your badge, whether you're a player, press, or if you have a seat, and they let you through. There's really no metal detectors, no searching, no anything. And the problem is back then there was 12 of us, and now there's millions of us, and we're playing for millions of dollars. And there's a lot more people, bigger venues. They need to do something about it. So, what do you guys think?
I agree with that 100% because things like this are happening all over the place, and not just at government buildings or anything like that. You have stuff happening at movie theaters. You have stuff happening to anywhere public where people gather, whether it be bombing or gun or whatever like that. So I personally, I think it's just horrible. If I don't want to say if I was there, but just any of the shootings in Vegas, any of that kind of stuff, all that stuff that adds together, it's messed up. And having served, it blows my mind that somebody could muster that in their head to do that to somebody else or to a group of people. And I don't know. I'm sad the way the world's going, but hopefully we can pull together and start getting all the safety precautions that need to be put in place without infringing on anybody's civil rights. So that's my opinion on it.
I bring up the point that most athletes, hockey, baseball, basketball, they walk around with an entourage of security that they either pay for or is paid for by the team for them. And now that esports players are considered athletes, that maybe something should be done when they go to these big venues as far as getting them from hotels to hotels, and then, while they're playing, have, either private security or some sort of building security they're working for the venue. Rabid, Grimy, you got anything on that?
The biggest thing about something like this is, the conversation always starts whenever you have a tragedy, such as Jacksonville, the director you had mentioned, Vegas. You have the conversation of, well, what do we do? And it's very interesting because we're at a day and age now where information is so easy to access and everybody can have a voice very quickly. And one of the things that I saw that was very interesting is a lot of these pro players, I saw tweets from Shroud. I saw a lot of professional organizations. They all said, we don't care if it takes us an hour, 2 hours to get into the venue, as long as we know that we can, feel comfortable in our safety, feel like the venue is doing what they need to do. We are okay with all of these measures, which is not something that you've heard from some of the other tragedies. So it's very interesting to me that it seems like the community wants this. It seems like the community wants to try to find an answer in terms of security. And I'm hoping that, as unfortunate as it is, this is going to spark a conversation in our community, maybe something that we can solve together, so that we don't have to experience this on this scale again.
Yeah, absolutely. Grimy, how about you? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I know with Madden in the past, I didn't specifically see this event, but they've done outdoorsy things. And when you go into stuff like that, it makes it even harder for people to lock down security with, the ability to obtain, certain types of weapons or, attachments, et cetera, et cetera. So, it gets into the question of events having to spend more money, not only on security, but on renting, an establishment to hold such events and stuff like that. And, and if it, in my brain or my view, I would want them to, if it has to cut into prize pool money, et cetera, get it done. The priority, the safety of the players is most important, and not even just the players, but the viewers as well, because they're supporting they're the reason why it's there. And the community, man, the community's huge and in a lot of different games, and to see, just to see events happen, and give a positive feedback for the community it's awesome, and that's what we need. So I think whatever it takes, get it done.
And I think it's such a growing issue now with esports because it's hitting so hard recently. They're missing key elements to the whole show as far as sports psych, like sports meds, all these personnel that help handle actual sports, and now that esports is coming up the ranks and being huge, they're missing those general people and staff that actually help keep everything under control. So maybe in the future we'll see it. I don't know. It's getting bigger. It's it's starting to get on TBS and ESPN and all kinds of stuff. So maybe we'll see it in the future. All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Darwin, last week, new patch. What are your guys' thoughts so far on the patch before we get into what the actual patch is? Or we can do it the opposite way. You guys want to look at it first?
I mean, I haven't pulled up.
All right, I'll pull it up.
I say we look at it first.
Check
and
it
then we
out.
talk about it.
Check it out. Boom. There it is. Oh, that was the wrong window. No, I jacked that up so hard. There we go. All right. Patch notes 114. All right. So I don't know. Grimy and I were talking about this earlier. I don't see exactly where it says how far the actual hook is. I've heard 60. I've heard 150. Does anyone know the actual distance of the hook is?
Grimy, what's up, man?
I swear it was 150.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. When I've seen people do it, I've seen people get hooked from like, you know,
I've seen it
almost like
too.
the other side of the map, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy hooks out there, to be honest.
If you go to the hook
So,
section, it
that's
might
that's
say.
yeah. I don't see it. But let's talk about this hook for a second, okay? All right. And me and Grimy talked about this a little bit earlier. I feel like hook right at the moment. I like the idea of the hook, especially since it kind of helps pull people off high ground and puts them on a level playing field. At this exact moment, hook seems a little bit too strong in the fact that you can hook axe, and it completely stops the fight dead in its track. If you make 3 good hooks, or if you get 1 good hook, really, you can just hit them and hook them back, and then hit them and then hook them back. So to me, that kind of like delays the fight, and it kind of interrupts the fight. Even more so than Telliax when it first came out. Yeah, the whole flow just seems to, I got hooked, game over. Like, I think they either need to
I almost disagree with all of that, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. What I've seen played, and it's like, I've been, streaming like once a week now. My stream schedule's been a little off, but basically, what I've seen the hook do is it's pretty hard to land, just like the ice bolt, in my opinion. If you want to compare it to that, as far as hitting the ice bolt's people miss that. I would say like
it is difficult
70% of the time. So I mean, like hitting the hook, I would say you almost have to be a little closer a lot of the time, or if somebody's not moving. I've seen a lot of missed hooks, and that leads for a lot of opportunities to go ahead and shoot an arrow at them, like while that's happening. And I think one of the coolest things I've seen is like a technique I've seen somebody use with the hook is they'll be gliding and in the air, and then usually people, when they see somebody in the air, that's their chance for them to be able to stand still and take a shot.
Yeah.
That's a perfect time to hook somebody while you're in that glider. Break that glider, hook them up into the air, and smack them back down. Like I've seen that. I thought that was a really cool technique I saw people use. I don't think it's like insanely hard to land the hook, but I do believe, unless you're just really good at aiming, it's more of a 50-50 scenario a lot of the time. People moving back and forth, you throw that hook, it's not instantaneous like right off rip. I mean, it's a projectile hook.
Yeah, there is a slight delay. Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same thing. Grammy, can you deflect a hook, or is that not a thing?
You can deflect a hook, but the projectile speed of it, I swear, it's
quick.
About as fast as an arrow. Like it's very fast.
I would say maybe a 3 to 5 second cooldown on that hook after you throw it the first time.
In my opinion, so that I've seen that glider technique, but just playing in private matches with other top players, I mean, we like to troll each other in those types of games, so we would obviously just use hook. Personally, I've taken hook out of my build in public games because I don't want to support it because of how overpowered I believe it is for top players to use. A good strategy I have seen is landing that first arrow, and when somebody is falling back, that's an easy time to snag them with the hook and go right into the combo. And it's that, and then that glider technique is also very good because if you're going at someone who holds their bow, they're easy snag for the hook, as you said. But yeah, it's honestly ridiculous. And when you get hit with the hook and you get axed right after, you actually fly and you're completely invulnerable, or you're completely vulnerable. I mean, in that position because you can't strafe, you can't do anything. All you can do is swing your axe. So if you don't time that swing correctly, it's literally just leads right into a combination. And in my opinion, it's good for newer players to use, yes, but it also bridges that skill gap between newer players and skilled players. And then also when you put that into hands of skilled players, they're obviously going to abuse it. And it just
like
it
hook
makes
trap
it,
or something.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it more it makes it more OP than what it was intended to do.
I'd like to be the unpopular opinion here for a second. My favorite, absolutely intended in the game. They made it. It was totally intended. It wasn't a bug. It wasn't an exploit. The Telliax, my love. Everyone has said that, oh, well, it's a free hit. It's a free hit. Get rid of it. It's a free hit. Well, wait a second. A hook is a free hit. Actually, people have made videos where a hook is 3 free hits. You hit a hook, You teleaxe through them, you hit them with an arrow. It's 3 free hits. So everyone wants to get rid of the teleaxe because it's a free hit, 1 free hit. When we've seen videos of people, I got killed while teleaxing yesterday. It was on my stream. I've deflected teleaxes. People have been shot in the head while teleaxing. You can miss a teleaxe, but people want it gone. But a hook can be 3 free hits in 1 hook, 1 piece of leather, not even an electronic, and people are okay with it. So it's very interesting to me how this has changed the meta, and now that it's something that people think, oh, well, everybody can do it, and there's no technique to it, I don't want to say there's no skill to it because it is a projectile, but there's no technique to it. You don't have to learn anything special. You just have to hit it. People are more okay with that. And I find that very interesting as the meta evolves, that people are okay with this hook that can be exploited even harder than a teleaxe with a 60-second cooldown, than a hook that costs 1 leather.
I think with the axe changes, it kind of fixed teleaxe a little bit because now you can't just hit it, either left or right of somebody. As far as the hook goes, though, and I bring up, he's not here, but I do bring up Turtle Christ. If you watch his streams, he doesn't even build anymore. He just goes hook, glider, hook, glider, hook, glider, hook, glider, and that's how he plays. Doesn't build boots, doesn't build axe, doesn't build cloak, nothing. And he wins games like that all the time.
Can I just go on record and say that Turtle Christ is not human, and we should never use him as an example for anything because he does some things that don't make any sense to anybody.
Let's be real though, he did get a power added into the game.
He sure
No, absolutely.
That's kinda cool, dude.
I completely agree. He is a great influencer, but he does things. I've seen. How many people have you seen in Games Director going deflecto or trying to do all of these things that he does and just getting absolutely destroyed? And he goes in against the best of the best and makes them look like they can't hit a single shot. And I don't think that he's tried in a game yet. I think that everything that he does is just a joke. I think that he's just memeing on people, and for some reason, he's just that good at it.
I mean, you're right. He lets people win. He'll get down to the last 2, and he'll just stand there and be like, "Your game. Go ahead."
You want me to wink?
Oh, Turtle! I've told Turtle he's amazing. I've seen him play. He's actually ridiculous, and it's crazy.
I don't know. Some people get that. I don't know. He says he doesn't want to play in top 100, but I know people like that. They're really good that they get that anxiety when they end up playing in like tournaments and stuff like that. So they'd rather just play
or have someone else play for him.
Ouch!
I'm just kidding.
Shots fired. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, let's continue out the patch notes. All right, let's see what we got. What, you got something else to add to that?
I was just gonna add on to the hook real quick.
Go ahead.
Speaking on what Rabid said about making it, or about it being 1 leather, way too cheap.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. To do something where, okay, yes, you can counter it with a power leap or an electronic, but why do you have to waste an electronic for something that costs 1 leather? That's incredibly cheap. Also, the one thing that I've kind of offered for, I guess, something to help balance it would make the animation a little bit longer. It honestly seems like the animation is so quick that you have to be like on top of your toes to be able to deflect it. Yes, you can deflect it, but the times I deflect it is usually when I'm already swinging because I think they're gonna axe me or something like that.
But at what point do you want to cut that time off, though, man? Like, I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, that would just rule that whole thing. Like, why would I even make it
most definitely.
Let me time this, and then just move to the side and dodge it.
Yeah,
I would say the best thing that you could do if you wanted to quick nerf the. I'm okay with it only being 1 leather because, again, it is a projectile. Get rid of the stun when you get hooked.
Absolutely.
Get rid of the stun. Get rid of the stun when you get hooked. Give them a chance to fight back when they get hooked, and it's good, in my opinion. I'm okay with it being 1 leather. Make it so that I'm not stunned when I get hooked. I can fight back. I can possibly parry. Yeah, I can possibly parry your attack.
I think,
and I'm okay with it.
I still think like a 2.5 second cooldown on that thing, because you miss, you could just throw. You miss, you throw. You hook, you throw it. You hook, you throw it. Like that. There's no way to stop that if they can aim it correctly. Putting a
that's
slight
true, but
delay on that would at least give someone a chance to get behind a tree or get away. You know,
I think that's naturally nerfed by the fact that there isn't a lot of leather. I mean, there is decent leather, but now at the point you're trying to decide, am I going to build my actual build, or am I just going to make hooks and blow through the leather? And for some people like Turtle, that makes sense. But for other people, I mean, the other things that you can build are pretty important.
But I mean, why do you need boots in your first fight if you can build 2-3 hooks, get that leather off him, and then just continue looting?
It's true.
So especially for first fight, they're
yeah,
slower,
hook basic
easier
arrow
to
is
hit.
really strong right now.
So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a decision on the player's part, but hooks off the bat are a viable strategy to win that first fight.
So, yeah, maybe they'll do something in the future. I haven't heard anybody say anything about it yet, but obviously they're still testing it out. It's only been a week, meta shifts, so we'll see. All right, let's move into the new tile. What do you guys think of the new tile? I like
cute.
it. Okay, I like it. It's kind of weird to fight in. I will say it has a very different flow than the rest of any other tile in the game. So you kind of just, what I see people doing is running in their loot, and then they just run out right away, like go fight in another zone. Like I don't think anybody, I've really only been in there once in a fight.
I'll say this right now. I thought that the fighting would be interesting in the new zone. I thought it would be cool. I thought it'd be refreshing. But to be honest, it's kind of toxic. Like people just fight out in the open anyway for arrows. There's no point in the crates. The electronic in the center, a lot of people fight there, and there's currently I know 3 ways of getting on top of it, at least from like right next to it, and it's just a fight for high ground right there. Makes it pretty unfair, especially if there's electronic there and you just keep hitting it. Um, the loot is terrible. If you
Yeah,
get
I
the
was about to
spawn
say
there,
that. There's
you
zero. There's zero.
there's two
Almost
people
nothing.
there's 2 people that spawn in that zone, and the loot is just not enough. Like you have 2 options: rush for first blood, get the electronic, or rush out and loot somewhere else. Because if you stay there and you don't get that kill, you're done. There's a lot of chests, yes, but that doesn't get you the necessities, the basic necessities. And there's also, you have to jump. That's a lot of stamina wasted in
Yeah, that's
jumping to
huge. Trying
get
to
a
get
lot of chests.
absolutely trying to get to the top of those things takes a lot of
Yeah.
stamina. I don't know if they're aware of this. I did make a report, so they might be. You get that. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets it. The map glitch is pretty bad inside some of those containers, so it's hard to actually see if you're looking at a radar who's coming in, who's going. But that's a slight thing. As far as the rest of the map goes, that was really my thing too. It's a lot of jumping. If they put more ramps up to the top of those high grounds, I think it would make a much more interesting fight rather than trying to jump up layers of tile. If you could, easily access the top layer and the bottom layer kind of like in a maze, I think it might make for some more interesting fights. But right now you're out of stamina, you're dead. That's it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I like the new like houses, the new style of houses. I wish there was more entrances into some of them, because some of them only have one way in, and the way that you spawn, you're basically faced on an area where you can't get in. You have to walk around the house to get in just to loot one leather, and sometimes there's not even a leather in those. So again, that just makes looting even harder. But I like the new style. The radars are a little misplaced. Some of them are kind of high. Can't really even see who's next to you. Can't read the names, etc. But yeah. I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. I'm gonna be the guy that goes against everybody today, I think. So one of the things from the development standpoint that I think is very important to talk about is everybody in this game. It doesn't matter who it is. Let me throw out some names real quick. Jitobo. I'm not gonna play this game until they change it. K Homie. I think I'm gonna take time away from this game until they put something in it that makes it new. All the old people, some of the new people, everybody. I'm not gonna touch this game until they add something new. Everybody wanted a new map. Some people were lobbying for a map inside a mall. A lot of people were lobbying for, let's have a desert map where you drink water bottles instead of make fires. I don't even know how that's supposed to work from a developmental standpoint. How do you even do that? But okay, whatever, sure. So everybody wanted a new map. That was the thing. Map, make a map. And they made a tile. They made a map tile. There's 20 people in the studio. They made a map tile, and everyone's like, I hate you. I hate this map. Why have you done this? What did you do? And I'm sure the Scavenger's like, we did what you wanted. I'm sorry. Like, realistically, there are some things, but we have to remember, at the end of the day, we have to remember this is an early access game from a very small studio in Canada where they're used to doing things a little bit backwards. And it's there are some things that need to be changed. The loot needs to be changed, absolutely. But that's a quick fix. I mean, the map's been out for a week. That's a quick fix. The radars, honestly, in my opinion, is one of the worst things about the map. There's one inside a container that is so scrunched that you can't see it. And that's every time. Every time I go to that container, I can't see anything. There's one inside one of those buildings that's on the ceiling. I can't see that. I can't see that close enough to be able to tell who's where, names and everything. And if there's somebody in your like in your lobby that's a big name that you're either trying to find or trying to avoid, that information is very important. Just knowing that someone's near you is good, but knowing exactly who it is very important information. So the loot stuff can be quick fixed. That's not a problem. They can go through and they can add spawn points all over the place. They can put 300 leather right next to you when you spawn, and that'll take them 5 seconds. That's not a problem. But like, I think the actual core mechanics, they were trying to do what we wanted them to do. Give us layers, give us levels, get us out of just the I'm on a hill, you're on a frozen lake. Give us different levels, and they did that, and we're like, wait, no, not like that. Something different. We don't know what different is, but something different than what you just did, please, now. And so I think that we need to realize, like, let's give it a few more weeks. I think that they're trying to tell a story with the tiles that they're coming out with. They're trying to give each tile its own distinct personality. And I think we've only seen one that doesn't fit yet. But I think when we see the other 6 or 7 or whatever that they're working on, it's going to make more sense. And I think that this is more gearing towards the changes that they're planning on making. So maybe it doesn't work with the way everything is right now, but maybe 2 months from now when they unleash a new mechanic, we'll be like, oh wait, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I get it now.
I feel like that whole new tile is like I think they looked at, like, you know, I refer to it as the Ewok village, you know, the one like with the tree houses and everything like that.
Map.
Yeah. Honestly, when I'm directing to, I'm sure you're the same way, is if there's a fight going on there versus a fight in another zone, I'll always switch out of that fight that's in the Ewok village to go to another fight, because I know those fights are going to end quicker because it's all in the open. When you have, you know, not just forwards, backwards, left, and right, you got to look up and down too. It's a whole different story. I feel like a lot of the tiles should have that. And I honestly really do like the tile. I love how it's made. I think the loot, like Grimy said, is total crap in that zone as well. I do like the way they did that, and I hope they make kind of similar things to that in the future. Maybe just a different outlook on it, I guess. I love the levels of it. I think that's what makes that tile like a big deal. And along with all that too, like just the way everything's kind of going towards is what I've noticed too, along with a lot of stuff they post on Twitter, is this is becoming a console game. I said it before we started. Like, it looks like it's coming to console game. And you look on the Microsoft store right now, it's #1 spot for top free game, the top free games right now. Xbox, their community is humongous. Like, if you take Xbox's community and try to match it up to a PC community, that's insane. Like, there is so many people that place and stuff, like, in that, just on Xbox. I really do feel like it's going towards console. I think, obviously, the heavy hitter players are always going to be PC. That's just my opinion for anything. You don't see, esports really doing a ton of, you don't watch a Rainbow Six Siege tournament for a console player. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I'm big into Siege, so I'll say that. But, a lot of that is always going to be PC. PC is where it's at for pro players. So I feel like I would think would be cool if like they went, especially with the tile changes they're doing, is to bring in like crossplay. I think that would be insane if they bring crossplay to Darwin. Just like how Fortnite has it on everything. Like you play with your friend on their phone. Like, come on.
Don't
Like,
you
I feel like that would be amazing.
Don't you feel like that'd be a little bit overpowered for
No.
PC players?
Not at all. And the reason I say that is because I used to play this game called Paragon. It's a MOBA, but your aiming does matter in that game for that kind of MOBA. It was a really popular game from EA, not EA, sorry, Epic. But I was top 100 in that game, and I was a console player. I played on PlayStation 4, and all my friends that I played with were on PC, and I just downloaded Discord on my phone and played with them through there. But I mean, it's possible. I really do think obviously PC have a little bit of advantage over console, but there's still good ass console players out there. I feel like going crossplay would give, like with their player base and everything, it could take Darwin into a whole new level with the PC players because everyone's on PC is gonna want to beat up on the Xbox. Everyone on Xbox want to go beat up on PC. I feel like the crossplay would be huge. I think that'd be, in my personal opinion, amazing addition to Darwin. I would love to honestly beat the crap out of some Xbox players. I'm not gonna lie. Just saying.
I want to touch on that. So yeah, the Xbox community huge. Yeah, PC definite advantage though. I mean, think about the meta PC backup arrow. You look at Xbox meta. It's a lot of axes. Not to say Xbox players can't aim. I've definitely seen some nutty shots, but you see more nutty shots on PC. But I just wanted to touch base on that. But to get back into the original topic of the tile, since director swayed so far away, there's definitely a lot of positives in the tile. I like the fighting there. It's new, it's refreshing, it's something different. I like the creativity in what they did. Like you said, in the layers. I like the idea of the radars if they would just kind of make them more visible. And then yeah, just add some more stuff. Just add like more abilities to get to high ground instead of just battling for one way to get to a certain high ground that a player has when they have a certain advantage. Make it ability to go around the corner of another crate and walk up and get a high ground, or something like that. Adding more to that tile will definitely make it a great tile. But I mean, there's a lot of positives, but there's also the negatives. It's new, and like you said, Rabid, like you said, a lot of the old players don't want to come back unless there's something new. They complain, and then when they put something new, it's just more complaining. I completely understand that. When this patch first came out, I was in complete support of it because it was something new, it was something refreshing, and that they're dedicated into sticking to a schedule to putting new and more content out. I thought that was awesome. But definitely with anything new that comes into a game, there's definitely going to be needed balancing patches. And I think that's one thing that Scavenger hasn't always been the best on, the quickest at doing. I mean, think about the optimization patches. It took them 2-3 weeks just to make anything playable on the game for a lot of players when they first did the tile rearrangement. Um, I think that they just need to focus on working on the balancing patches and stuff like that as well when they add new stuff.
First off, I gotta say, this chat hates you, man. Look at him, dude. I'm dying in here. I just, I want to go out and say I do like Scav as a studio. They're a small studio, but they do actually, if you took the level of work they try and put into Darwin compared to the huge company, I think they outperform. They try their hardest to give what we want. And it's true. Sometimes they fail, sometimes they don't. Nobody's ever going to be happy with everything. As far as loot and stuff is concerned, I've always been a huge proponent that BRs, as far as competitive play goes, you kind of have to look at it like how old Call of Duty went on PC. And the reason they invented Pro Mod was to get rid of all the randomness, because PC players don't really like in a skill-based game, you don't like randomness. So where I like Darwin as opposed to games like Fortnite or PUBG is that if they just put loot like a lot more places, it'd be more skill based. You wouldn't have to worry about running around and trying to find wood for a fire. It would be more, one-on-one skill based when you come across another player, and you'd be able to build your set. It would be based more on what set you're building at that time. But I like Darwin because you're not dropping into it, and there's no randomness as far as if you're dropping in. Oh, I picked up an AK, and I picked up a pistol. Like, I'm screwed. So I like the fact that it's just a bow and an axe, and they add kind of little stuff in there that you can change to develop your gameplay. But I definitely think they need more loot everywhere.
Well, speaking on that, actually, they did put a lot more loot into the game than previous. I don't know if you knew that. Like, they added in with I don't know if it was. I don't think it was like last patch. They added it with the the new. Was it the Ice Bowl electronic? They added in. They didn't add any more chests. I think that just still like spawns up depending on how the zone's turned. But they added more trees and leather guaranteed. They added in a lot more. I feel like personally, I don't know. When I go around and loot now, it's less depending on like the new zone or something like that, or aka old middle zone. I can get looted up and get whatever I need really quickly if I want to. Like I could get. I mean, I think it'd be safe to say if I was using my lumberjack axe, I could get that leveled up in under 2.5 minutes, or almost on the dot, depending on the zone I'm in. Absolutely, I feel like that's easy accomplishment.
Yeah, and I think they're headed in the right direction. I just think in a game like that, you should never be looking for loot. In PUBG, there's weapons and armor and helmets everywhere. In Fortnite, you can knock down trees, buildings, houses, roofs, whatever. Like, you're never really struggling for loot. There's only a handful of times now in Darwin where I'm struggling, but I feel like you should just get enough loot, maybe like a 5-6 minute build done, and then it's about competing with people. And then it'll shift from people using lumberjack axe and hoarding all game to people using other strategies and maybe different zones to try and get a one-up on their opponent, because everybody has a full build at that point.
I agree.
Can I play devil's advocate again?
You sure can. That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna do it anyway. So, hey, director, how do you feel about?
I look down at you because you're down below me. Hold on, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, good. How do you feel about contestants in the top 100 looting for 30, 40 minutes, not fighting, just looting, still looting? Oh my God, still looting. Great, we're in the final zone. They have 20 wood, 20 leather. We're just going to keep making armor. Okay, great. There's 7 of you in the final zone. Please do something. Please.
Honestly, dude, you're saying on this, and like, okay, so you're playing devil's advocate with that. I can easily answer that. Along with these patch notes, I don't know if you guys noticed, if you read them, that the arena size. Did you see how much they decreased that?
I don't care about the arena size.
This is where it's going to play in. One of the topics in here is meta change, right? So one thing, in my opinion, I started running the arena, and it's honestly a godsend in my opinion, because not only can you put it up, and it lasts, I think it's, what is it? Let me look. 20 to 15 seconds. So now it's 15 seconds. And they reduce the size of it by 40%. I've used that not only to quickly load a body, but to trap somebody in so close to me for 15 seconds, dude, with the hooks or whatever you want to use now, with like all the quick hits you can do. No one's getting away from me, man. No one's gonna have time to go ahead and craft up something if I trap them in there.
No one's getting away from. No one's getting away from you. That's
great.
You're
a top 100 player, man.
I am.
One time I was.
Oh,
so
okay.
One time I did it.
I got you.
But no, what I'm saying is, like, dude, I popped that out. Like, I wouldn't go into play something. I just use it, dude. I've used it to bodies, do whatever. Like, it doesn't trap people anymore unless you're right on top of them. So, like, if you're running in, and you guys are about to axe, bam, trapped in, dude. That's a fight right there. I feel like that's game changing the meta. Yeah, I understand that you're saying, like, dude, people are just looting up and blah blah, and it sucks. But at the same time, what are you supposed to do about that in a 10-person game with that many zones?
Well,
I'm just saying, with us adding more loot, or the thought of adding more loot, there's more incentive for people to not fight. Because if I kill somebody, let's say if I kill somebody at the beginning of the game, right, I'll get 3 wood, 3 leather. Or instead of fighting that person, I can move to my left and walk for half a minute, and I've got 6 wood and 3 leather. And then I can just keep looting. And then I can, build lumberjack, and I cut down a tree in superhuman speed, And now all of my looting, I've got all of the loot, and I don't have to fight anybody. I mean, this has been in regular play, in normal play, this isn't a problem. But in tournaments, in especially the top 100, or as soon as money's on the line, this becomes an issue because people are going to take the sure thing, the safe thing. I don't blame them on that. I don't blame, the inmates on trying to stay alive. But at the same time, when you're trying to, we want to look at the future. One of the things on here is Darwin tournaments and marketing and esports. We want to look at the future of this. Do people really want to watch a 40-minute game where people are somehow we ended up in that Ewok village that you call it? 3 people are taking a nap under one tree. One person's on top of the second tree. We're basically just waiting until someone runs out of wood for a fire, and that's your final fight.
But I mean, think about it like this: every BR game, battle royale game, it's the same thing. You have a massive amount of players in the final zone. That's just how it is because they know that if you pick a fight, they will more than likely be vultured because all the other good players will know, oh, hey, these guys are fighting. Let me go snag 2 easy kills. You know what I mean? That's why they take the safe way, and that's why the final zone forces them to fight. The only thing that I think would counter that would make the game progress any faster is if zones closed like more often. There wasn't so much time in between one zone closing and another zone closing, um, and that can also come down to the director and them playing closed zones. But also I'm talking about passively in the game itself. Uh, Also, if you don't have that type of gameplay, what's really exciting? Would you rather watch 5 1v1s, or would you rather watch a final zone where someone's getting hit every half a second and people are flying left and right, arrows, hooks, axes? What's more exciting? I honestly,
Grab storm it.
I love the final zone. I
That's
love
so
seeing
toxic.
all the action happen at once because it's just like an implosion of just everything. It's crazy. That's what I live for. I love watching final zone fights and tournaments. That's just me. And you don't get that if you get a lot of people dying before the final zone.
I got a question.
Wait. We'll hear. I want to hear Grimey's opinion more on that when he makes it to the finals.
What?
Rabbit just bounced for a second. I was gonna say my question real quick for you was though, is Gravy to bring up down in the comments a little, it was farther back, but he said, what would you think if like the radars didn't display names?
That's amazing.
I really liked it when he said that. I was like, that's actually not a bad idea because it's like, who am I rushing right now?
I don't think lobbies should say names either at the top. I think they should get rid of it.
But that would only encourage more of the style of gameplay in public matches that Rabbit's talking about. It would make people more scared to rush a certain person if they know they're
That's
there.
true.
Yeah.
I guess. But
in public matches, you don't want them lasting that long. That's why tournament play is different than public matches.
I wasn't talking about. I'm just talking about gameplay in general. With the whole thing is just if I was playing and like let's say I knew there was like, in a tournament setting, I can see why like I guess but when you're playing a public match, dude, all right, back in the day, oh shit, Chichobo's in my lobby, like, but he's like everyone else, you've never heard their name, but you can't on the radar, you can't see who's who, so it's like you're like, okay, I have a pretty much 1 in 8 chance here or whatever of running into Chichobo. So it's like I'm gonna push that kill, dude. Like I don't know, like for me, if you're like remotely experienced in the game, for me personally, I look at the radar and I'm like, okay, never heard of this dude before. I'm gonna go ahead and kill him. I'm gonna go over there and fight him, or I'm gonna go track this person down. But when I see him, like, oh, okay, I see, whoever, who's good right now. Like, let's say Shadow. I think Shadow's pretty good. Like, I'm just throwing out a name. He's pretty decent. Like, I see him, like, I might want to steer clear of him to like get looted up a bit. Versus like if I saw you like in my zone, I'd come and kill you right off rip. So, yeah, Grimy, I'm talking to you.
All right.
Come and get you off rip, dude. Can't bear trap me.
I just want to add in real quick. It's been 50 minutes and we're on number 3.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to move that on. All right, just real quick because a lot of these patches are for Xbox anyway, so we're almost at the end. These dailies, you guys, should they make them harder? Should they keep them the same?
Dailies? I
Not
mean,
everyone's a pro player.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
They're more geared toward the beginner novice player. Gives them something to work towards. If honestly, in my opinion, I think they should do more of them.
Yes. And
Not necessarily making them easier or harder, because more skilled players are going to be able to do any challenge. Maybe do one really hard one for the week, and then do multiple easy ones throughout the week. Because if a newer player doesn't have something to strive for, they're just going into matches, they're dying because there's no way for them to practice. I know that they are going to introduce something to practice in, which is awesome, but that's not here yet. So still, right now, they're jumping into solo matches. Duo matches now are even sweaty because of the leaderboard, and they're just dying. And I think that'll just make people want to quit even more. But since they have the quests, something to grind for ramen, for in-game cosmetics, that's awesome. It's really, really cool for them to grind for to get something, blah blah blah, etc.
I agree with you. They need to be more. Like, some of this stuff is so expensive, and I'm getting like 30 ramen a day. I'd have to grind out for like 3 months to get any of this stuff.
Exactly.
Which I don't mind having the quest. Like, I don't want anything hard. Like, okay, craft a fire, 10 ramen. I'm not playing World of Warcraft or anything creative. Like, I'm not logging into like RP and stuff. Like, I'm logging in. I do like the quest idea. They need to be worth more or give you more throughout the day. Absolutely. Anything else on that?
I completely agree. It needs to be they either need to have more of a reward. Maybe have, if you do all of the quests in a week, you know how some games have like the login bonus. If you do all of the quests in a week, then you get a random roll of a rare or a legendary item. Something.
Yeah.
I mean, 10, 15 cents a quest is, when all they come out with now are $15 skins, is not really worth it. I'm not going to say no thank you. I mean, I'm still going to do them. But like you said, 10 cents, that's 150 days to buy one legendary.
Mm-hmm.
That's half a year to buy one piece of gear.
Yeah.
And if that's all they're coming out with is legendaries now, which I don't blame them for that, but I make money, totally okay with that. But it's kind of more of a tease than anything. I'd rather have a login bonus than a quest bonus.
Well, see, the login bonus, I think it's a great idea, but then again, it just gives someone motivation just to log in and then exit out. They want people playing the game.
Yeah, play 5 games a day to get your stamp.
Fair enough.
And then you get your stamp. You get your stamp for 7 days. You get a roll on guaranteed a rare or better.
I think that's a good idea. But at the same time, I mean, think about like working towards something. I think the quests are honestly great. I think keep the same price, just do more of them. Do a set of 5 a day. Do 5 different 10, 15 cent quests a day, and then have a weekly one that's worth $1 or something like that. You know what I mean? That's like hard.
Yeah.
Something along those lines, because it's going to keep people wanting to play to complete those quests. And like I said, yeah, login bonus is cool. Play 5 games, etc. But are they when you strive for something and you achieve something, it's a way better feeling than just logging in and playing 5 games. In my opinion, that's just me though.
Absolutely. I don't really want to get into the duo leaderboards conversation. I think that's everybody's been kind of beating a dead horse on that. No elo, just whatever rank you finish at.
Can I touch base on it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nobody plays duos but K homie, and nobody cares about K homie.
Hey, well, I play duos.
I just want to touch base on this. So yeah, that issue is an issue itself, but also the introduction in a duo leaderboard. I don't know. I've heard a couple people agree with me. I've seen a lot of people disagree with me. But you introduce a leaderboard into anything, it's gonna make people want to sweat in it. Correct? That's why solos are so sweaty. When I see a new player and I see them in solos, and I try to talk to them. If they try to hit me, I kill them because I don't want to take that chance. But I direct them. Every time I talk to them, I say, go to duos. If you want to learn the game, go to duos, because not only can you get matched with a player that may know what they're doing, but you also might get matched with a new player who doesn't know, and you can make a new friend and learn the game together. And then if you introduce leaderboards into duos, it's going to make people want to sweat in that game type. And then where can the newer players go to learn? They have nowhere to go because they're just going to get smacked every game. That's just my opinion. But
Get good, scrub. I mean, I don't know, man. You play to get better. I agree with tutorial things, but I've always been under the assumption, and you play. If you log in and you're getting smacked around, you're doing something wrong. Learn from it.
yeah,
I mean,
most
that's how.
definitely. But if you can't even
It
learn how to make a
sucks.
fire because you get smacked in under 10 seconds,
Wow.
it's just like,
That's one of the tips I give out, man. When I see
Yeah,
a bunch
that's
of
what directors are
flop,
for.
That's what I'm here for, man.
yeah, I'm directors now. That's a whole nother topic. Holy.
Depends.
Um,
I still think
yeah.
Steph Knight's
What's
number one,
what
but
is
whatever.
Feels? What's up, man?
You just
Not
say
you,
Steph Knight
Yeah,
is the number
Steph
one
Knight.
director.
Steph Knight, number one director. Absolutely.
All right, I'm out. I'm out. It's been fun. I'm out.
Actually, Gravy Boat, up and coming director.
Savage,
see.
man. I love gravy.
Let me hit on these real quick. Switch screen. Let me just go through these real quick, okay? So we talked about them earlier. We hit on them. I just want to go over them again real quick. Arena reduced by 40%. Duration is 15 seconds.
OP.
And now
sorry.
you can deactivate the arena, which is huge. That's awesome. I like that. Let me see. Jump, increased gravity by 10%, increased air control by 30%. Inmates will now jump higher and farther when their stamina is not empty. Movement speed while going sideways is the same as running forward. Movement speed going backward is reduced by 30% instead of 20%. Movement speed while swinging the axe is reduced by 20 instead of 30. So I guess you can move faster while swinging the axe now.
Mhm.
And then there's some. I mean, most of us know what the axes are doing now.
Yeah, there's basically no backswing on the right side.
Let me
which-
say though, that's pretty much it for the patch. Let me say though, yeah, as much hate as it's getting, I like the axes this patch. I'm saying it, I'm throwing it out there. I like the axes this patch
All right.
because they're closer. You're not getting huge swings away. Like you know when you're in
Mhm.
somebody's range. So,
I can agree with that. Also, I think they're heading in the right direction. I think that they took a
Thank
step in the right direction, but it's at a point where they feel very broken because it's not complete in the direction that they want to go. Um, the backswing on the right side is just so important because there's no player collision, and when people run into each other, it's back to turning left to get that swing off. And that's skill, but also like that left side backswing is not very it's very inconsistent. And I think player collision could also, if they add it into the game, it would help axes tremendously, but it could also cause some problems as far as the flow of the game. Um, I don't know. I think they're heading in the right direction, but it's an incomplete thing right now. So it's broken. It's broken because it's incomplete. But I think they're heading in the right direction with it.
The uppercut's quicker now. I know
yeah,
you do that.
okay. Let me
Yeah, it is.
let me rephrase. I like them how they are now, like this patch. Like I like that. Pretty much in agreement with him. I'm not saying they're 100%, but I do exactly. I like the way they're going. They feel better now than they did before. I'll say that.
There's a couple of times where I've definitely swung through somebody's body and it didn't hit them. There's still some inconsistencies that I don't understand what happened. I don't know if it's just like a certain side of the hitbox that's smaller or what, but there are definitely still some inconsistencies that
Yeah.
make axes very broken right now. But like I said, heading in the right direction, incomplete, so it's broken, basically.
Yeah.
I want a potato launcher, dude. I hope I can get rid of the bow for that instead.
All right, so we did talk about this. Moving on. Potato launcher, Jesus Christ. Moving on. We did talk about like the tourney meta. I mean, it's the same thing every time. It's
Mhm.
boots, lumberjack, axe, stale cloak, and people just run around forever. Whether or not it'll change the hook, I know gliders are used a lot. Meta in tourneys is just slow play, but what I want to talk about is meta in normal play. And I talked about this with Grammy a little bit earlier today, and I like what they did with this patch in the sense that they pretty much got rid of meta in regular play in a sense that any build can be pretty much viable now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Except
I
for
see a lot
scavenger
more,
acts
except for scavenger acts, yeah.
and most boots.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Hunter
you could
boots are all
I don't
right.
agree on that.
Scavax is
I
very
think
viable.
Evader boots are the lowest on the tier, but
Vader boots are actually good, to be honest.
no, but I think
my opinion.
they're the lowest. I think Hunter boots are really good. I think Speed boots are really good. Ninja boots. Yeah. Okay, I'll
They're
say
viable.
I would say
They're
Ninja boots
viable.
are lower than Evader boots. All right, we'll switch it around.
Ninja boots are viable in what sense, Grammy?
Ninja, because there's more loot on the map. More tracks. I mean, that just goes hand in hand. More ability to track people. I get a lot more tracks now. My average tracking time has gone way up since they changed to the tile patch because of how much loot they've introduced into the game. I honestly think almost every build is viable. I mean, you even see Fur Cloak coming into play because of snowballs. So many people are running into snowballs, and then you got the ice bolt. I mean, there's instead of having the same meta of simply having just lumberjack, speed boots, stand cloak, or revenge cloak, I think that you can use so much more now than you could before.
Yeah.
And I think it's great in that direction because so many different playstyles can benefit. Obviously, every playstyle is going to have its disadvantages, and you can have a general one that's good all around, but it may not be specifically good in certain situations. But in the sense, I think most builds are viable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I almost agree with Rabbit a little bit on the Scavax. Yeah, it's viable, sure, but like, why would I want to sit there and upgrade my Scavax, man? Like, and
Yeah,
like versus like
Scavax,
my Cooker boots, it's not as viable as the Lumberjack or like an Axe Sharpener as far as it goes. It's still viable, yeah. Like if you could get that full up, you kill somebody, you're getting like but that's the thing is like you kill somebody, dude, you're getting that 300 heal.
Yep.
I mean, like it's like when you find that deer, that's a little bit of a different story. But dude, like you're gonna base all your axe on a deer, like you might not even see one for I don't know.
The only person that I could see using a scavenger axe ever would be Gomenasai because he plays every match at 50 health all the time. I think he spawns into the game with 50 health, and they're like, you know what, figure it out.
That's what I was gonna say. If you get into an early fight and it drops you down to one hit, Scavax could be helpful, but most of the time, I mean, not really.
I mean, you can still run it. I mean, I know a lot of people who don't even like building their axe, so they just build boots and they get their axes out of chests. And at that point, I mean, how likely are you gonna get 3 axe sharpeners out of chests? It happens, sure, but it's not likely. So why not just put on Scavax, get maybe 1 or 2, and you get the extra health every time you hit a deer? Because there are more deer on the map now. So in my opinion, if you're gonna build straight boots, then lumberjack's already out of the question. So you're down to axe sharpener or Scavax, and I don't see anything wrong with running Scavax.
What about your utility wheel? I think introducing the hook has changed a lot of it because for me personally, what I used to run is I loved bear trap. Like I just felt like I always ran that. I ran smoke and then I ran glider. But now when you introduce that, like the people that run the snowballs or who likes to run a tripwire or whatever, there's actually a few different combinations now that like I still see are super viable with all the loot on the map. Especially all the tracks people can get on you. Smoke bomb becomes it's still obviously I think is an amazing utility to have, but I really like after now the hook, if I really practice the hook and I was pretty decent at it, I would definitely run hook and glider as meta at the moment, in my opinion.
Most definitely. If you want to be really toxic, you would run glider, hook, snowball.
Yeah. But then you
That's
think like
toxic.
that, there's zero traps. Like then you're like not running any traps of any kind. Like
who needs a trap when you have them infinitely in the air hitting them? Because snowballs need a nerf as well. So
moving on, the only reason that Gomenasai is literally in the chat right now, the Darwin heavy hitters. Director,
I thought you said there was a reason he was in.
Who are your top picks?
I think I speak for Gome now. If it was before he went out on his little vacay, Gome would have been my top pick because like he knows how to put on his Nikes and run. But now Now he's. I mean, I watched him come back and play a little bit. I was lurking in his stream, and I think you agree with me. He's a little washed. I mean, I think he'll get back to where he was in like a day or two or whatever of playing. But I still say Gomez is one of my top picks. That's my man right there.
Who are your top three? All right,
Top
everyone
three?
prepare to get your
Top
feelings
three
hurt.
ever?
Top three. No, right now,
current.
in Darwin meta, current.
100% my son, Moonshine. I don't know if you heard of this guy.
Moonshine's a monster.
He went out and hooked up with that prize pool right there for Ben's tourney, and I don't know, he beat some big dudes, man. Guts won the last top 100. So guaranteed my top three right now currently are Moonshine.
Yikes.
That's it. Hey, that's my son, dude. I didn't see you in the finals with him.
Oh.
Saying that, Moonshine's my man. Gome, absolutely. Dude, I'll preach Gome till the day I die, man. I love Gome. And then for my last and final third, I'm gonna have to go. That's such a mix. Like, you can throw anyone in there. Like, I mean, if I had to go with anybody, I don't know if you guys heard of this guy. He's like really killing it lately, though. The director TT. I'm.
Oh my god.
No, but I'd probably go with probably Silent, dude. I really like his
Silence,
game. He doesn't win every single one, but like just when he is on his game, dude, he's nuts. But also either change him out with that or PP7. I think PP7, his arrows, I've never seen anyone hit arrows in succession like him, unless you want to go back and look at Flight Master. I feel like he's the new Flight Master.
Can we talk about PP7's power leap arrow shots? He hits everyone.
One. He is PP7's game is a god. I mean, he's either aimbotting or he's just like the new Shroud or Jatobo. You know, like, you know what I'm saying, with those arrow shots. I'm just saying.
I don't understand it. Like, you can, like, on flat land, you can make a miss. Power leap, he doesn't miss. I don't understand it. But
low sensitivity, man.
Yeah. Actually, Striker, I don't know if you get Striker, he like back in the day when he used to play and he was just really good. He got top 10 and everything, just a god. He runs his sense on 1. Yeah, that's slow, man. I don't know what his DPI was, but
I mean, so I just want to make this clear. Guts vultured all my kills.
That's good though.
Surprised he didn't die to Snow first.
He was due for one though, man. He was due for one.
Snow, Guts always dies the cold, man.
He does.
But I mean, top 3. I mean, if you're talking about top players, let's be honest. I mean, when you get to a certain point, top 20, top 30, those people can kill each other at any point, any time. Like, it's
don't be political about this.
Who are your 3 favorites?
Top
3. Who are your favorites?
True.
Top 3.
You want to talk about top 3? Okay. I mean, I gotta throw myself in there because when I'm off
said
stream,
top 3.
When I'm off stream, holy, I'm a god. All right, I'm a god. No. All right. Are we talking about public?
I'm bad at taking tests.
Are we talking about public matches or tournament play?
We're talking about whatever you want to talk about, man.
Like your top
because
3
it's different. It's different. Tournament play, public matches.
Your top 3 heavy hitters, man.
That's tough, dude. Okay, I'm gonna say tournament play right here. Tournament play. Gome, definitely tournament play. Gome is up there. Very good tournament player, knows how to play it. To be honest, Casper. I got Casper up there. Casper's very good. Was he 5-time, 6-time silver skin winner, 2nd place 3 times in a row. The dude is insane. He's good. Third, shoot, man, that's tough. I mean, forehead, Saibu, he's been very consistent lately. He's been beaming with hooks and he's still top 10. And like, you know, I don't know if I want to put him at 3, but he's up there. And then you got, you know, obviously you got Guts. I've seen Guts hit some insane shots lately. There's a clip where he just destroyed Steph from like probably 200 meters in a grab storm. It was honestly ridiculous. Man, yeah, I can't put a 3rd in there, but honestly, I got Golem and Casper definitely in my heavy hitters right now.
Just real quick before Rabbit does his, I love how you say like I play like a god off stream. That's like when someone's like, I can't take tests, man. Like when they test me on the knowledge I'm supposed to know, man.
I just don't test well.
Can't play, man. I can't get into that.
I mean, look, I stream with 30 FPS. Thanks, brother. Okay. I just want to say that.
Oh, is that what your game's on too?
Huh? What? No. Get out of here. Come on, 1v1 me right now. Let's go. Come on.
Dude, I don't
Look.
want to beat you up
Look,
like that on front of
Look.
Director
You've
doesn't
directed my
donate to
games.
charity, okay?
You've directed my games, brother. You've seen me pop off. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks for informing me. Now I know that you popped
Oh
off. Right.
my god. I'm just kidding.
Before this,
Why
I
am I
was
here?
like, who is this guy?
Yikes. I kill.
Poor Grimy.
Look, everyone dies. Okay, Gravy. Look, I've died to some bots, including you.
Dang.
Can't let the chat get to you, man.
This is getting too toxic for me.
Can't let them get to you. All right, Rabbit, top 3.
Top 3. We got to start with Pacific. Probably. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm back.
I'm dead.
Top 3, since
Oh, thanks, sir, by the way.
obviously I'm the only one that watches competitive play in this lobby. So top 3 is easy. It's not even like a competition. That you've got to go for consistency. Okay, so consistency. Who is consistently performing? Who is consistently, no matter what tournament it is, top 100 tournament, private run tournament, anything like that. Gomenesai is consistent. Gomenesai won back-to-back tournaments. He won a private tournament, and then he won a top 100 tournament back-to-back. The only other back-to-back tournament winner was Chitobo, and back when he did that, he was considered the dominator. Nobody could touch him. He was just back-to-back. So if you want to talk consistency, Gomenesai, two tournaments in a row, won consistently in the finals. He's a solid player. With that, Casper is going to get that gold helmet soon. It doesn't matter what it is. He's created metas that I hadn't seen before. Teleporting through somebody and trapping them in your arena to get away is insane. I had never seen that before until he started doing it. He gets into a lobby and people say, oh my God, it's Casper. I'm done. I can't catch him. You can't see him. You can't catch him. It's over. So he's consistent. And then I don't know how, if you guys just don't look at competitions, nobody's brought up Mac 7. Nobody's brought up Mac at all.
He doesn't even play no more, man.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yes,
play.
he does.
No,
Get
he
out of
doesn't.
here.
I haven't
Yes,
seen
he
Mac
doesn't.
7 in a while.
I saw
doesn't.
Mac. I
does
saw
not
Mac
play.
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He
2
hopped on
days
to
ago.
play for once
I
in
saw,
a year.
I saw Mac before director.
Look,
Okay. No,
he's
that's fine.
great.
That's fine. Okay,
No.
let me bring up another person then, since y'all wanna say that people just don't play anymore. So okay, we don't want to bring up Mac. Forehead's fine. We can bring up anybody who's being consistent.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Mac 7 was playing like yesterday. That's fine. That's okay though.
Well, I haven't
When
seen
Mac
him in a
was
while.
when Mac was
Hop on
grinding,
Steam, hold on.
when Mac was grinding, yes, he was dominant. That man was very good. He's still very good, but I wouldn't consider him a top 3 heavy hitter right now at this
No.
point.
I think Mac could go into a tournament tomorrow and place.
Oh, most definitely, he'll
Yeah.
place. He'll
So
place
why
finals.
wouldn't he be dominant?
Because you're talking about
You're talking about like out of 10
right
people?
now. You're talking about top
Put him in
3.
the final.
I'm talking. You put him in a top 100 tournament tomorrow.
Yeah.
He makes it to the finals.
Yeah, he'll make it to finals, sure.
Yeah.
So how is he not dominant?
Because you're
He
asking
won't
for the best
dominate
3.
The best 3 players.
He's not
I
gonna
don't
win it.
understand.
He won't,
He's
he
not
won't
gonna-
take.
he's
He
not
won't
gonna
even
place
take
top
my
3.
son, Moonshine. All right.
Oh,
Right.
he'll beat Moonshine. He'll beat Moonshine.
I mean, you couldn't. You said you're the top 3, so
I killed him the other day after
I
he
mean,
ulted me and
oh, in the
stuff.
tournament you did?
No.
Oh.
I-
All right. I was just making sure. I thought we were
Actually, wait, did we fight in the tournament? I don't remember if we did or not. I don't
I don't know
remember.
if you made it that far. Yeah.
I did. We were in the same group, the beginning group.
Yeah,
thanks.
probably.
Okay. Look.
Well, okay. So we all brought up our top 3. Only one of us actually has a cohesive top 3. The other 2 are kind of fantasizing about stuff. But
Yeah, I don't know why they're talking.
Hold on.
I
here,
mean, no,
hold on.
Golem and Casper. I completely agree with you on that. Another mention I saw in chat, and yes, PP7. Yes, great player. I don't know about top 3 right now tournament play. He's just now coming back. Yes, he's grinding. He's grinding. When he gets in this top form,
You're
yeah,
not wrong.
that
not
man
wrong.
dominates. That man dominates. But
You're not wrong.
he's just now getting back. You know what I mean? But he's up there for sure.
can
He's
I
up
put
there
in
for
a
sure.
side real quick that we said Gomenesai? Let's go back to this. Gomenesai, we said all of us, I think, agreed. Gomenesai is dominant right now. He's in our top 3?
Yeah.
And he took 2 weeks off?
He played yesterday though.
No, that's fine.
I froze him.
But I say Max 7. Oh no, he doesn't even play this game anymore. When he was literally on yesterday, but I can't make him a dominant play.
I think
No,
it's
no,
just because
fine.
we haven't seen him in a while. I was even unaware he played yesterday.
It's cool, man.
I mean, I
No worries.
performed.
No, hold
I
on, hold
played
on.
in tournaments with him. The tournament that I
Mine-
won, actually, he was in it.
Mine's a combination. Wait, I didn't even get a top 3.
Wait,
yet.
hold on. Stop everything. Where's Purple on your list? Did you just really
No,
say
no,
that?
no, no,
dude,
no,
are you
no.
kidding me?
All right, so mine's
the only-
I put
closer.
another complication too,
Mine's
Look,
mine's a little bit
No,
closer to
Purple's actually been grinding,
Mongoose's.
and he's
The only way
not-
Purple
he's
gets
not
into
bad.
my
Yeah,
lobbies
he's
for a
not bad.
tournament is when someone leaks the code to him, okay? I'll say that right now. You can clip it. The only way Purple's getting into my lobby is when someone leaks the code to him. And that's just because he plays for memes. And I don't disagree with that. His YouTube thing is going really well. He's a good player mechanically.
Yeah.
He's a great player, but he doesn't take it seriously enough to put in the work every single day because he's working on so many other things.
Yeah.
That's
So he's a great player. I think that he could do well,
He's
but
a
I
good
don't
player,
think
yeah.
he has the I don't think he has the desire to put the amount of hours that it takes to get consistently into tournaments and perform.
Look, all I gotta say is watch out for me. I'm coming.
Wait, hold on.
I've been grinding the game
my
again,
top
boys.
3. I'm a little bit kind of a combination. I'm a little bit closer to Rabid on this one. Obviously, it's unanimous. Gomensai hates saying it. It's unanimous across the board. You troll motherfucker, but you are in my top 3. Casper is second. Moonshine is third. Those are
Oh,
my top
man.
3.
Who's Moonshine third?
Look. We personally, I watch Moonshine. Great player, raw skill, amazing. Some of the tournament decisions he makes aren't always the smartest. He's like I said, he's a great player, but in tournaments, he's not the best tournament player. Yes, he just did win that tournament. I understand that, but in previous tournaments, because if we're talking about consistency, he's only won this one tournament, correct? Past tournaments, he hasn't made the best tournament decisions while in play. But great, all-around great player. He's a top player for sure. But if we're talking about top 3, I just don't know if I can put Moonshine there.
I was just saying that because he's my son, but if I was going to replace him, it would be with Casper. I think Casper's a god. I think
Yeah.
Casper's really good.
Oh yeah, no,
Casper's
really-
nuts.
That's my boy. I love him. I'm subbed him. Everyone subscribe.
And I mean, like Rabbit said, I mean, if Jatobo was still playing, he'd be well over Gomensai.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that anymore. I
Ooh.
watched Jatobo's stream when he came back,
Oh, yeah, he got wrecked.
and it's a different game now.
Yeah, he got
Um,
destroyed.
He
I-
warmed up. He warmed up.
He warmed up. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I'm seeing people that aren't no names going through and absolutely destroying now. Like, I think that a lot of people, the hitboxes are different, the animations are different, and I think that Jatoba would take a month probably. I think Jatoba would take a month to even be in the competitive conversation, just because it's so new to him again.
Mhm.
He's just not used to it. I think that he could get back into it, but I don't think that he would come back and just immediately take over.
The one thing I'll say is that a lot of players don't understand this. A lot of players grind leaderboards, grind. Oh, I'm ranked. I'm top 10. I'm top 20. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is tournament play. Because you get public matches where, excuse my language, but Freelo is in there. And they're easy to feed off. You get free loot off of them, and then that will further help you and give you a handicap in killing the other better players. You go into a tournament, kills don't happen as often. You don't get that loot. You have to earn that loot. And so that's why looting is meta, is because people want that loot to give them the advantage in fights. And you see the no names that came and hit up Jatobo, whatever. I think you put Jatobo in tournament scene, I think he does fine, in my opinion. I saw some great mechanical play. I saw him handle multiple people incoming on him very well. I think public matches are very different from tournament play, and you throw them in tournament play, they'll do fine.
I bet Caffrey would disagree with you.
Oh,
And-
Streamer Slam.
Yeah.
Guys, go check out Streamer Slam on my YouTube channel.
All right, let's move. We kind of hit top hitters and tournaments at the same time. We talked about tournaments earlier. And there's not too much to touch on this next thing. I like that they went to F2P, free to play, for those of you watching. I like the move. We talked a little bit about how jacked up the microtransactions are at the moment as far as price per player base, but I like the move. I don't really run into that many people that I think are cheating. I don't really run into that much shady stuff. So it's not really a question of somebody just making another account. I mean, I don't know if the game will get bigger and then we'll run into more of that. You're always going to run into it. But I think for right now, what they did was a smart move. And I do miss like the $15 community because it was super tight, but I think it was a good move.
I just want to say right now, there is a large problem with hacking in Darwin, compared to the size of the player base. Uh,
I don't
I
see
mean,
it, man. I don't run into it.
I know of 3 active cheaters right now in the community that are just running rampant. Um,
Yo, Caffrey, calm down.
no, legit. I've been 4
How
for
could
4.
you have known he was in that bush? You couldn't
I've
even see him. You
I've
didn't
been
even move.
I just want to say I've been 4 for 4 on my hack callouts. That's all I'm gonna say right now. And I know I'm 5 for 5 on this other guy. But to be honest, like with the size of the community, one cheater can ruin a lot alone. Um,
The
and
cheater playing the top 100 tournament. I remember.
it took it took
Was it
3
Hanzo, man?
it took 3 weeks for him to get banned, and we reported him before the top 100 with more than enough evidence. And that just talks to, I mean, they're so Scat Studio, nothing against them, but they rely way too much on easy anti-cheat. Anti-cheat is crap. They got to make a move. Free to play, you got to make a move away from anti-cheat. You got to do something else. You got to do better. Yeah. I don't know.
I think I don't know too much on the hacking whatever perspective, but one of the things that I did notice is the $15 community, like you said, was very close, tight knit, and everything. On the free to play community, there is a lot more toxicity because they know that if they get banned for saying something, they'll just make a new account and it's fine. And they can change their name to whatever. They can change their picture to whatever. And as somebody who's been an enforcer forever, let me flash that card real quick. Trying to have those conversations with these people, they don't care because, okay, ban me. I'll make a new account, whatever. And where this game is so into streaming, this game, it built its identity on let's get more streamers in, let's get that stream integration. All of these people, as soon as they find out you're a streamer and they want to be toxic, they're going to say things that'll get you in trouble with Twitch. And then that's a completely different issue that Scavenger is not in control of. So
Yeah.
the hacking thing is, if you know of 3 or 4 people hacking, well, that's 3 or 4 people hacking. I can't tell you how many people in whatever lobby are playing audio that should not be played or saying words that I can't believe that they decide that's okay. Stuff like that, where it's just like back in the day, and I don't even have to say the name, we had one person in the $15 community, and that person was outed quickly, and that person was taken care of quickly. And that was how the community ran itself. We governed ourselves. Now we can't do that because it's just too easy to be anonymous.
And I think back to I forgot who made the point of Scab not being ready for going to F2P. Things take so long for it to happen. In regards to getting rid of players that have more than enough proof on them, whether it be cheating, toxicity, etc., etc. I don't think that they're specifically geared for it. I just think that when you have an incoming large influx of players, small moderator group, that it just can't be done. But as far as getting the game out there and getting a bigger player base, which is what is needed, F2P is the way to go.
Yeah. All right. So we'll hit up. You guys told me they're not marketing until they release, but who knows? Let me touch on that. I say this all the time, and I still stand by this statement. I think that, like, back when we were younger, AAA titles used to come out, and they would hotfix them, but you had, like, Rare and Epic and, like, a bunch of like, AAA titles, and it seems like the market is flooded with all this early access, beta, early access, and it seems like it's kind of an excuse now. Like, they just kind of, like, something will be buggy in a game and they'll be like, it's just early access. Like, it's just early access. Like, I feel like it's flooding the market now. And there's
games sometimes don't even get out of early access.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I paid $20 for games that never made it out of early access that I liked, and the developers are like, hey, peace, motherfucker. Like, fuck you guys. Like, what are you gonna do? But I just think that more often than not, a game should be a little bit more polished. I think the early access, early beta excuse is getting old with stuff. Instead of people just being like, "Yeah, I'll fix it," they're like, "Just give it like 3 more months. We're in early access." Like, I just, that's how I feel about that. I hate that.
I don't disagree with you, but I also just like pre-orders. I hate pre-orders with a passion.
Oh yeah.
But we as consumers are allowing it to happen. We as consumers are buying the $30, $40, $50 early access game and just sitting with it. We as consumers are spending. We all bought the game for $15, except for Grimy, because we spend that kind of money and we let them know, oh, that's okay, no worries, because that's kind of where we've moved as a trend. Yeah. I think the biggest thing about it is we as consumers need to hold the studios accountable. And I think that it was kind of going that way with Darwin. A lot of the players, especially a lot of the big name players, the people with pull, were saying, if you don't patch this and update this, I'm gone. You got my $15, but I'm gone. And with me goes everybody that I've amassed on Twitch, or at least most of them. We're going to move on to something else. And I think it's up to us to really stand up for that as consumers. I saw in the Darwin Discord one day, one of the people with those 4 letters in front of their name, and I'm not going to say their name, but they said, as people leave, there will always be a top 100, so more people will come in. And I think that that's a pretty bad way to think about it, because you're losing your audience. It doesn't matter, you're not a big enough company to make statements like that. That's a Walmart statement. Well, if you stop shopping at Walmart, that's fine. Somebody else is going to start shopping at Walmart tomorrow. You're not a big enough company to make that statement. And I'm going to say that right now. They're not a big enough company to say, okay, Jitobo can walk out. We'll get another Jitobo someday. You can't.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
It's kind of like right now, the game needs to progress, right? The player base needs to grow, it needs to progress. How can you progress if you're constantly restarting? And that's what that statement says to me, is that they're just like, well, if this doesn't work, throw that out, get this one, come in and see if it works. You can't do that. It's not going to work like that.
I mean, and like I said earlier, I do like Scav Studios. I still do. I mean, they do try. I mean, they'll answer your questions pretty fast in Discord. They try to keep us all updated on what's going on. But I mean, and there's nothing like hugely like game breaking like that you play and you're just like, this is like the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like, it's just kind of like little tweaks here and there that they've been tweaking along the way. So I think they're doing a pretty good job.
VR now.
That's another trend that we as consumers
I do, and I say this, Darwin. I played PUBG, never tried Fortnite. Played Islands 9 for 2 says Darwin was really my first BR that I got into, and I like Darwin.
Great game. It's a great game.
Other BRs I don't. I did Arma 3, back when it was like Altus Life, and they started introducing BR, and we were like, oh, what's this about? But I was always more of like a survival fan. I think they're way funnier, but I don't know. BR to me is like, I think Darwin did it right. I think other BRs are kind of like a cop out. It's just like, oh, here's some guns randomly placed and go kill each other now. Like, there's no substance behind it.
Yeah, Darwin did a really good job at that. I think they combined the BR aspect with the skill aspect very well. And in all, I think it's the best BR on the market, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I do think Darwin
you
is the
take it
best
from
BR out
100 to
there.
10 players, dude. Most of the time you're looking for people to fight. That's not always the same case in Darwin. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's hard, but there's radars. You can find somebody, you can track somebody down. That's something the other BRs don't. And now it's, man, you want to get in a fight, dude. You're in a fight, and this isn't a fight that's going to sit there and last like, oh, I shot you first, you're dead. You get a long fight depending on who you're fighting a lot of the time, dude. Like, in all reality, dude, if everyone was so good that they could, deflect every axe and arrow, both of the, let's say it's two people, your fight could last forever, dude. Just depending on the zone or how everything's working, you have that kind of skill cap. So I mean, like, the fights, they last. I mean, like, I'm sure you've been in a fight that's lasted, at the very, minimum 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, minimum. Like, I mean, like, I've been in fights that have lasted like 5 minutes. Like, it's just like intense.
Okay, so I got what? Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say the only thing that sucks about Darwin is that learning curve, because it is so different than any other game.
But it's so basic. Darwin,
you just click
to
on
me,
their head, dude.
Darwin to me is like the Quake Live of BRs.
Well, think about it. Every
you don't worry about weapons. You kind of know, these houses have radars in them. Like this is gonna have a boom shot. And even though they tile systemed it, you still kind of have a grasp on the tile. So like Quake, which is different from other FPSs, is there's real, other than your wheel, it's a bow and arrow and an axe. You build the wood, and those are your weapons that you pick up, your wood and your leather to build stuff. So it's very down to its core shooter style. That there's nothing fancy about it. You can't build all the way to the sky and jump pad cart. Whatever. I don't even want to talk about it.
It's just that, like, it is very simple, yes, but at the same time, it's not just to pick up a gun and aim and shoot. You have to aim, pull back your bow, shoot. You have your axes, etc., etc. That, like, it is simple, but at the same time, it's so different that people are just like, I just want something I can just pick up and be good at. Like, I don't know.
The fuck are you doing?
I don't know. Sorry.
All right. Is it esports ready in its early access stage?
I think so. I think in
like a legit push for esports. I'm not talking top 100 tournaments. I'm talking like a legit push.
Absolutely not.
No.
Compared to any other BR, I think it is.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me.
I don't think it is.
Why?
Why? I mean, look at any of the look at PUBG, the biggest esport.
But look at
BR.
their player base though.
Yeah,
all right,
I know.
All right.
But
so
are you talking about core game mechanics? Are you talking about the game, or are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about
the game. Is the game ready for?
I think the game is. There's not many
that's a part of
glitches.
Nope.
Skill wise, I think it's there. I think it's ready.
Nope.
I think there's some things they need to do to push combat faster, like Rabid was saying earlier. I think that if Darwin was an esport as of now, if you watch things like PUBG, like people will land in the same spot and kill each other. Like Darwin, you don't have that option to drop on people, so it spawns you in like a set spawn. And nobody really kind of wants to watch a 30-minute match of nothing happening.
But I mean, in those BRs, nothing really happens. I mean, people take shots at each other, yes, in the same way at Darwin. If you take a couple shots, if you get 2 shots on them, then you're gonna chase them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in any BR.
I think the misconception here, though, is you are assuming that we think that PUBG is esports ready, because I don't think that's ready either.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
No, comparing it to PUBG, that is actually a esport currently, whatever. Darwin is not ready for 2 main reasons. One, Darwin is currently not balanced, and people will say, what do you mean? People will say, how it's balanced. There's 10 people. There's loot everywhere. Whatever. No, I can spawn 20 feet or 100 feet or whatever away from somebody else. If I'm in one of those zones, I can kill them real quick, or they can kill me real quick and get that electronic, which will push them through. Whereas somebody else is in a zone all by themselves and they don't see anybody forever. That by itself is not balanced. And that's a core part of the game. Number two, I'm gonna let you finish, but Darwin made one of the best BRs of all time. So number two is there is no way currently, and we've tried, there is no way currently that you can manipulate the rules to make it entertaining as an esport. We've tried. I've been a part of so many different tournaments that have tried different things. I've been a part of the Trackathon. I've been a part of the Killtastic, Kill whatever. I've been a part of the Top 100. Director and I have been a part of all these tournaments. Instant Shock, all of them. And every single one, Fast Frags did one. Every single one has had a different rule set. And the problem is at the end, it's always 7 people. It's always 20 minutes of them just sitting there. And chat is like, oh my God, do something. Oh my God, do something. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the director's just like, well, I don't have any powers left. I can't do anything. I'm just sitting here now. I can't interact with the crowd because literally nothing is happening. There's nothing for me to talk about because I've already said it all. So there's no watch value. Therefore, as an esport, there's no sponsorship value. Nobody wants to sponsor something if they're not going to get any kind of entertainment aspect out of it. There's no real monetary value because you're going to be coin flipping a prize away. And that's one of those things where esports as a business, it's not even close.
And then for your number 3, because I actually was going to mention what you said for your first one, but along with that, we're talking about the game being ready. And then you go into the fact that they haven't advertised too as well. Where are we going to be holding these tournaments on? Like on Xbox platforms, because that's the player base. If you want to have like a real tournament, dude, you need that kind of player base at the very least. Because PC player base, it's not there. You go scroll through the leaderboards right now and look how many people have played games. Like, yeah, you got like your first 3K, 4K people who played some games. Mm-hmm. Sure, but like, tell me how many people have played over 50 matches in a week, in 2 weeks. Look at that. And look at who's on Darwin at like all times of the night, dude. Sometimes I'll go on Darwin. There's 250 people playing, like across all the servers.
I can counter everything you guys just said.
Wait, hold on. Let me before you counter, because you're gonna be the devil's advocate here. I don't think BR in general is ever ready for esports.
I don't
know
if I say ever, but I think at this point it's not.
But esports are ready for BR.
I think small scale BRs would be the way to go if they're going to hit esports, because you put 100 people in there, you're going to have like top 50 prize. I mean, the payouts are going to be less because you're going to have to pay more people out. They're just too random. They're just the reason that like games like Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Quake, like FPS, like Call of Duty, there's so much randomness in BRs that I like small scale tournaments. I like what Darwin's doing with the top 100, and I think private tournaments are good for that. But I think like on a main stage, it just doesn't make sense because it's too random. Like, yes, there's a skill factor, yes, there's consistency to it, but it's just too random. If you get one bad drop, I mean, you're screwed.
I don't agree with that. I think yes, there is randomness. But when you get skilled players, they know how to effectively maneuver around the randomness. Say you drop at the same spot somebody else does, sacrifice looting very little, back off, go loot somewhere else. It's you can work around the randomness, the RNG.
You can, but if you drop on a house with me and you pick up an AK and I pick up a pistol, that's already completely in your favor. Whereas a game like Counter-Strike or Overwatch, like they play around the same weapon types and the same map type, and you don't have to really. I mean, there's only so many places you can go.
If you drop at a house, though, are you going to drop at a house where you know a car's at? Or are you going to drop at a house where it's just a random house?
That's where the consistency comes.
Back off right away.
But you never know what's going to be there to loot. That's where the randomness comes in. Whereas you could have a sniper in one house and like a pistol in another house. That's where the randomness comes in. Which,
Work
and I'm
with
saying
what
like
you
a lot
know.
of PC players who are like super way up there competitive wise, like I'm talking like Cloud9 players, TSM players, like those guys that they play team games like League of Legends and Counter Strike and stuff like that because that's the randomness is removed and then they can just focus on practicing and their skill comes into play and they don't necessarily have to worry about consistency.
But
Whereas if you look at like Ninja and Shroud now and like Myth, like they're competitive players that do some BR tournaments, but they're mostly streamers now that do this BR stuff.
but we're talking about two different types of games, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
And
about to say that.
when you're talking about two different types of games, you're talking about two different types of skill sets.
Yes.
What makes a player great in BR is the ability to adjust to what the enemy, not only what they have, what the enemy player has,
Yes.
and to play your advantages. That's what makes
But
BRs great. And that's why I don't think BRs are ready for esports. I think esports are ready for BRs because that is where the player base is. It's a craze. That's where all the money is.
But like Rabbit said earlier, you're coin flipping. Like if I'm playing for $1 million and you sat me down and you're like, all right, pick a game you're gonna play $1 million for. What's it gonna be? I'm not gonna pick a BR because if by chance, even if I'm consistent, that there is a slim fact that I'm gonna drop somewhere and somebody's gonna have something better and I could get offed in the first 10 people. Like, well, why?
But that's what makes it exciting.
Well, yeah, for
It's
like
something
us
different.
players,
People are
but as
so
a
sick.
spectator, it's kind of like,
As an arena, as an old arena shooter player, I agree. There's great. The esports, the level that esports reached, and that it's all based off of arena shooters, right? It's all based off of that. But now esports is developing. It's forever changing because the game community is forever changing. So they're looking for something new. That's why I moved to BRs. And to be honest, like I said, it's all skill set. I really wanted to counter all those things you guys said, but now I don't remember what you guys said. But I don't know.
I mean, I do think, and I like BR. I do think consistency is a huge thing, and that's what makes a player good. I just think when there's a lot of money on the line, it's people would rather have the randomness removed than not removed.
But
My
you're talking about old.
Well,
FPS
not necessarily
arena shooters.
true, but
If
I
you're
mean,
talking about a
even if
player
you look
that
at,
that developed their skill in a BR, they're gonna prefer that randomness
but even if
because
you look at a
they
game
know
like,
how to adapt to it.
if you look at a game like Call of Duty 4 in its original state, like they had tournaments for that until people were like, hold up, we can edit this. That's why Call of Duty mod, the Call of Duty 4 Pro mod came out because it
Mhm.
removed the kill streaks and the randomness of somebody just getting lucky with something, and it just made it completely skill based. And I just think a lot of PC players, you know, I am from a different generation of gamers, but I just think
Mhm.
that randomness when it comes to money on the line, when it comes to fun and playing and being consistent and viewership, it's great. But when it comes to a large sum of money on the line, it's like, you know, it's iffy to me.
What's more exciting? The fact when each player has the same thing and each are capable of killing each other, or when a player has a distinct advantage over another player, but that player at the lower advantage still wins.
No, for spectating, BR is amazing.
Yeah,
That's why it's huge on
for me,
Twitch.
that's exciting. If I'm pinned down by a sniper
But I'm
from 200 meters out, and I'm peek out from I shoulder lean to the right off a tree, and I pop him one time in the head, that's fucking exciting. Excuse my language, but that's sick.
it
Like
is.
I would much rather see that than people just strafing and shooting each other in the head now. Like that's old to me. I played Unreal Tournament, I played Gears of War, I played COD, I competed in all that. It's old. It's the same thing
Right.
over and over. We want something new, something exciting. That's just me. That's my opinion, but I just think that the capability of bigger plays are in the BR scene.
I guess we'll find out here. I think it's creeping its way in. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, one last question, and then questions from the audience. All right, because I heard this brought up about a week ago. I heard, well, it's a few people recently. People are saying that Scav makes bad decisions by. Basically, what happened revolved is that Scav Studios boosted Jachobo's stream. They shouted his stream out when he came back and played for a day. And there are a lot of people that are very upset because they're saying Jatoba left us to die.
Oh
Like,
my
you
God.
shouldn't stream. You shouldn't boost his stream. Me personally, I think it's a good move because when you get followers, you have followers, and they watch your stream, and you get exposure.
Yeah, I think it
Exposure is
goes both.
exposure.
It goes both ways. I think it can be seen as a backstab to the community that has continually supported the game, but at the same time, I think it's a smart move on Scav taking advantage of the viewership and follower base that Jatobo has.
Jatobo is, was, and always will be the golden boy of Scavenger. It's not going to change. It never has changed. Back when he was Ravenclaw, they shouted out his stream almost every other day. That's how I found out about him. I followed them on Twitter, and they immediately posted about one of his clips. It's been that way. It's gonna be that way. And quite honestly, no matter how you feel, in my personal opinion, no matter how you feel about it, there's more important things to worry about. I've heard some of these people make some of these comments about, oh, they shouted him out and they didn't shout me out. Okay, cool. Let's look at this from a business perspective. Jatobo getting 500 to 700 viewers versus some of these people who are upset getting 20 to 30. From a business perspective, are you going to pander to the 700 people, which is more than you're getting concurrently on PC, or are you going to pander to the 20? It's a business thing, and they like Jatobo, and Jatobo likes them. And people from the old days remember Jatobo, and they love Jatobo. I say old days like this isn't a 6-month-old game. They like Jatobo, and they've watched Jatobo and everything like that. But quite honestly, if you are upset that you are not getting shouted out by a company and you have 20 viewers and you haven't done anything for that company, your focus is in the wrong place. What you are focusing on is not what you need to be focusing on. Why don't you spend all of that effort and all of that time that you are complaining on social media and instead put that into promoting your own stream and making your own brand?
Yep.
I just think a lot of people really want their own individual success because associated with Darwin as well. Because it's nice. It's a game they like and they want to be associated with that game and be successful in their own way. It just sucks, but you're right, from a business perspective, they made the right move.
I drop into streams all the time, and I love watching Darwin's streams. And what I'll do every so often is I'll log out of my Twitch, because it comes to a point now where if I go into a stream and someone sees me, they call me out, and I don't like that. So I'll log out of Twitch and I'll go in as an unlisted viewer.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bunch of people. There have been so many people that have said, I want to get the partner program, because if I get the partner program, they're going to shout me out. My channel's going to grow. Don't do that. That's not why you want to be a partner. And if that is why you want to be a partner, you're doing it the wrong way. So, I mean, as it is, it's just a bad way to look at it. And I think that there are certain things that I understand when it comes to the whole Jatobo situation. Some of the things that people have called Scavenger's relationship with Jatobo out on makes sense. That one's not one of them.
Yep. Speaking of people in chat, this Samurai Mo dude has been in like 9 chats today talking about how dead Darwin is. Like, get a life, dude.
Obviously, he's pretty obsessed with it.
All right. Grimy, say what you're going to say, and then we're taking...
If Darwin's dead, you can hit the browse tab on Twitch, and you can find another stream real quick.
Why don't you get a Fortnite, dude?
All right. Grimy, add your last comment, Grimy, and then
I just want to say,
questions.
Rabid, you're completely right about people wanting to be partnered for the wrong reasons. I think there are some specific people that want to be partner not just for those types of benefits. I mean, me personally, I'd like to reach it because they announced that they would take feedback from the partners more so than just general feedback. And I think being okay, you guys are gonna flame me for saying this, but
being a 7-time runner-up to the final
player, being a top player on Dark.
Top player in a dead game, lol.
I
good.
can add some great feedback into into what they want and stuff like that. I mean, I genuinely like the game, and I know there's a lot of people who feel the same way. I mean,
I
Golem being one of them, he really he enjoys the game. And I know he could bring in some positive feedback no matter how much he trolls. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
would definitely take you seriously right now.
I mean, it's so dark in your room already.
I actually take him more seriously now that I can only see half his face.
I mean, yeah, his expressionless face has been
Alright.
just like with the glasses. Perfect.
All right, guys. And now for the part of the show we're going to immediately regret. Questions from the viewers. You guys can ask all of us something or one of us something or however you want to do it. We'll be taking them for the next.
Ask Grimy something.
I'll give them like
40 something.
8 or 9
Rabbit
minutes and we'll call it. So go ahead. Let's ask.
Yeah, if you want advice from a mid-tier player, just at Grimy.
Top 500. Top 500 for sure.
Twitch TV at Grimy.
Why is Rabbit's face so cute? Thank you so much, man. That was a birthday gift from my mother.
Nice, dude.
Why can't you take him seriously? Are you better than him? 47. Yes, I am. Let's see.
Better than who?
Look at all these questions. See, I knew I was gonna regret this.
How do I get as good as you? Nemesis Artemis, you see what you do is you praise to me
Taking it back.
and oh yeah, I'm done with this question.
Hold on.
Nemesis,
Do
aren't you already better than Grimy?
What?
I know she's got a bigger dick. Do you guys agree that they should move the NA servers more north so that us in Canada don't have 75% more paying than other players?
California, Chicago, Virginia. And we're done.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think they move. I think 2 servers is fine because the player base is already split. I think they just move them a little bit more centered.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ping's awesome, man. I play it like under
It
30
depends on the
ping
time
every
of
game.
night. It
What
depends.
was Miss Unit? Oh.
I do know there was an issue at first, and I don't know if they checked into it. They must have because my ping dropped dramatically. Their VPN was bouncing me to California on East Coast servers and then back to Virginia, and it was putting me at like 130 ping for East Coast. So I'm down to 50 now. So
I can't read chat, man. I'm dying over here.
I think a
Let me
trial
see,
server
let me
would
see.
be
My question
would
is
be
ignored.
good. But if you add a whole nother server, you're just going to split the player base
Oh
even
my
more.
god.
God, go Minnesota
So-
is so troll.
I'm just looking at Misty's button. Grab it. I'll let you answer that one.
I love how it's like yours and not like mine.
I gotta shave mine every month because military and whatnot. So
Yeah, I'm rocking a full grown beard here.
All right. Any more serious questions here? Thank you for your question, Gravy Boat. The rest of you, I hope you
Hooligans.
spontaneously combust.
troublemakers, dude.
I hope you. I would tell everyone I hope they get doxxed, but then apparently that's like a thing, and
Yeah, Monka TOS, brother. You better delete the VOD right now.
no, they don't.
I'm being
Listen, they
parents
already took
tweeting
away.
you.
They already took away my partnership for that. I've already had a long talk with them. Okay, we're cool now. Why
I'm
am
not
I
seeing
the
any-
only
any
one
more
wearing
serious
glasses? I don't know.
Said that
I don't see
tweeted
anything.
you on or whatever questions, but that doesn't really make sense to me. So like, I'm just gonna tweet you.
Umby
the questions
tweeted
instead
me
of putting it.
questions asking you guys to ask if he's your favorite player, so I just assumed that he was joking.
He's not my favorite player. Killed me the other day, so
Yikes.
All right, guys, one more minute. One more minute here.
T minus.
And no, we're not taking off our shirts, so
Maybe you're not.
you do you,
I mean,
boo-boo.
I think it'd be the most troublesome for Grimy, man. He's all bundled up in that Eskimo sweater.
Look, I don't got any shirt on under this.
Wait, is there a zipper in the
Prove it.
back? How did you get that off over
Prove
your
it.
head?
You might
Oh
be
my
wearing
God.
a tank like me, dude. Look how low this thing goes. See?
What did you? Don't ask me in Twitter, dude. Ask me like, okay.
How many bits for you to send me those glasses?
Is Scav Studio broke? Many people in the community
No,
say
they're
yes.
small, man. They
No,
got
they're
like
tiny.
They're not
tiny
broke.
studio.
Definitely not broke. Small studios just don't have the funding. to do it. I mean,
they have the funding to give Jatobo $20,000, but who's counting?
They
That was
didn't
my-
pay for that.
That was Microsoft.
Oh, was it?
God.
Oh. Well, I mean, they still could have used their money for something else.
I mean, they could start a
Well, they couldn't have.
GoFundMe if they needed to, but
I don't believe it.
whatever. GoFundMe.
Let me tell you guys a story. Let me tell you guys a story about Scavenger. So Misty and I wanted to do something nice for Scavenger. As soon as they came out with free to play, we wanted to thank them for everything that they've done for the community. So what we wanted to do is Misty and I wanted to buy the studio lunch. And we had tried to find out what everybody wanted. We tried to set everything up. And we had a figure, and it was about $250, right around there. And we said, okay, everything's ready to go. Let us know when you want us to do it, and we'll do it. And the studio actually said, we do not accept money. We don't want to accept your gift because we don't want people to think that they have to give us something. So we said, well, we've already allocated that money. What do? They told us to donate it to charity. They don't
No
need our
kidding.
money. They're not broke.
They
They
are a
don't
good
need
studio.
money. They don't need help. They don't need any of that. They're okay. Like, a lot of rumors are going out that they're broke and there needs to be a GoFundMe for them, or we need to give them money. First off, they won't accept it. Second off, they don't need it. So, I mean, think about it. Every time one of those new skins comes out, maybe there aren't a lot of people on PC, but think of all the Xbox players that are buying those new skins.
I was just gonna say it's the biggest game on
$15 a
Xbox.
pop.
They're doing something right. They're
At
doing
$15
something
a
right.
pop. If there's 60,000 people that everyone says there is, 60,000 people on Xbox buying a $15 skin, that's huge.
Mhm.
So they're okay.
I mean, I wanted to touch on a point actually when you talked about PC player base. When you announce esport partnership with a game, that's gonna bring
Huge.
player base to PC.
Yep.
It will.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily a valid point, but at the same time, no esport or no company or whatever is gonna want to partner with a game that only has 1,000 players on average player base at the moment. So yeah, but it can go both ways.
We just all need to do our part in at Keemstar.
It's not that hard to be successful on Xbox as a free-to-play game. All right, this guy has the IQ of a shoebox. All right, dude, you're going up against Fortnite. You're going up against all kinds of other games that are free-to-play.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that
true.
are dominating. The fact that it's the #1 free-to-play game on Xbox, that's huge. Like, and I don't even like console people, okay?
It's not that
I don't-
Microsoft isn't even. It's not that they're interested in it, and they're partnered with a lot of games.
That's something that's huge.
They're not going to give any type of benefit to Darwin Project. Darwin Project did it by itself to become the #1 free-to-play game on the Microsoft marketplace.
Dang,
Oh.
Casper just
Oh,
jumped
look,
in
now
here, yeah.
Casper
Hey,
shows up.
Casper! Yo,
After
I
we've
didn't
been
want.
talking all that trash about him.
I
Yeah,
want
Casper.
to let it be known. I was the first one to mention Casper as a top 3 hitter. Thanks. Shout out to my boy Casper.
Yeah, but you also said that you were one, so nobody listened to you.
It immediately invalidated everything.
Look,
Did
I'm
you
confident.
see? Did you see
I'm confident.
Grimey's face just now?
I'm confident in myself. Okay, that's it.
Why are you tripping over what you're saying right now if you're so confident?
I'm just saying that I'm confident.
This guy really likes to go to the Darwin streams. I wish I had that kind of time, man.
Grammy's #1 in my heart, though.
Heck yeah.
All right, well, I guess that'll be it. We took viewer questions. We'll all talk. I don't know how often this is gonna happen. I definitely want it to be like at least either twice a month, probably, depending on content. We'll see. We'll all talk about it. So stay tuned.
47 on Twitter, dude.
Casper,
was
I'm
gonna
already
say, all right, I
trash
just-
talking you.
If
Oh,
you don't have a Twitter,
Look,
make a Twitter.
we are
saw
looking for other
47.
guests. If you do want to be on the show, just at me or at the director, Rabid Mongoose, just at one of us.
said he was a top 3 hitter.
So we'd like to thank Grimey for showing up.
Thank you, Grimy.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure.
I'd like to thank Rabid Mongoose as well. And guys, don't forget to go check out Streamer Slam because it's actually really funny. He actually does a really good job of that.
If you need a guide, you don't know how to play Darwin, dude. YouTube me.
Yeah.
This was my moment.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait, you're cutting him off. We're talking about
He's
Streamer Slam.
He's
real
gonna
quick,
shout
man.
you out
Hold on.
afterwards.
Hold on,
Damn,
man. Calm down. So yeah, go check out Streamer Slam. It's actually really funny. It's good. What gave you real quick? What gave you the idea for that?
For Streamer Slam, I thought it would be kind of funny to have the old group back together, the old Darwin streamers, because like we had talked about earlier, the $15 group was like it was one of my favorite group of gamers to play with.
Yeah.
And all the old streamers and everything, and I just thought it would be really cool to see them all compete again. No matter what game they've gone to, anything like that, there's so many inside jokes, there's so many old interactions that are still going on. So
Yeah.
myself and my friend Dandro, you guys might know him. He's directed a couple of tournaments. He's a great director. He's really good at the game as well. Pretty much every day now, Monday through Friday, we're coming out with a new YouTube video on my YouTube channel. Just look up Rabid Mongoose on YouTube. It's called Streamer Slam. We basically put everybody in the WWE universe and we have them wrestle each other. There's a lot of really good matches. Our first ever match was Jatobo versus Kefri. Oh my god, I blanked for a second. It was Jatobo versus Kefri. It was a great match. I think it was commentated pretty well. I'm a little bit biased, but go check it out. I hope that you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's super funny. If you haven't seen it, you have to go watch that.
I just wanted to say I've been accepted by a lot of old players. I just want to.
Why are you still bringing yourself up, man? Why are you trying to weasel your way into this?
I want my respect.
He's like, hey guys, did you forget about me down here in the bottom right?
Since Rabid plugged his stuff in, I just want to say I stream Monday to Saturday.
All right, time to go.
5. I start at 5. I do spoopy stuff on Saturday.
Yeah, go ahead. Shout yourself out, Grammy. Go ahead, real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I stream Monday to Friday, 5 to whatever. Saturday, I do like after tournament stuff and viewer games and spoopy and drunk streams. Yeah, it's a cool time.
Oh wow, promoting alcohol, cool.
And my third shout out goes to my good friend Harold over here.
Oh my
He's
so annoying.
Follow the director, TTV. Go ahead and give your
do a spiel. All right, yo, it's the director. What's going on, guys? So if you need to learn how to play the game, you're like, how do I play Darwin, dude? How do I direct, dude? That is where you go. You go to TTV/TTV Director TTV on YouTube. Check me out there. I stream like once a week sometimes if I'm feeling like it, dude. Be there or be square. I don't drink on stream because I'm an adult, but you know what? To each their own. That's all I got.
All right. And as always,
I do drink.
For people on my channel, I'm 47.
I'm just kidding, Gary.
I stream whenever I can, really. I work nights. So usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, it'll either be Quake or Darwin Project. According to Gomenes, I'm the most toxic player in Darwin, but I don't think that's true. So thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll still be in the chat for a little bit. So we appreciate everything you guys do and all the support. And we'll let you know when the next show is. So if you guys have any ideas or want to be a guest, don't be afraid to tweet at us. Not Grimy, though.
No one wants to be a guest.
Not Grimy, though.
Guest again.
Not Grimy, though.
It's
Listen, man, after you, the bar is set so low.
Let's get Moonshine in here. Number 1 player.
He can't even tie his shoes yet.
Steph Knight will be on next week, and then anyone after that.
Get Arctic Zero in here.
All right. We're going to have Pacific, Steph Knight.
Oh, he only streams on Mixer. I don't know if he'll be able to make.
Does he really only stream on Mixer now?
He just started, yeah.
Poor guy.
He's like, I got like 50 followers, bro. I'm like,
poor guy. That's what you get. All right. Anyway, again, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Is it over? Still like doing weird stuff.
Yeah. I don't really fuck with no. Yeah. Gucci gang, Louis gang, Fendi gang, Dolce gang, Sachi gang, Prada gang, lot of gangs. I don't really fuck with no brand names. Join about to go on a rampage, ooh. They don't wanna see me let the chopper bang, yeah. Get this bitch jumping like Shabba Rank, ooh. What's a little pump to a rocket flame, yeah. Turn your pink dreads into pocket chain, yeah. All you new rappers don't be talking about shit except doing drugs. Wonder how you got a name, damn. Sipping lean, take an E, Percocet, purple drink, Xanax, everything sound the same, fuck. Bunch of drug addicts in the house of pain, woo. Hope you niggas suffer till you pop a vein, yeah. This should make your mother wanna ovulate, yeah. This should make conductors wanna stop a train. Gucci, Fendi, Louis, Prada, Dolce. Back when I was broke and no one know me. I couldn't afford it, and now that I got the money, I don't even want this shit, cause it ain't for me. I always been myself, you don't know me. Yeah, I was so depressed, I was lonely. The man on the horse, all I had was Ralph Lauren, then I went inside a deal and bought a pony. Yeah, I'm taking it back and then I'm smacking you bitches and laughing and I'm killing them, hacking and I'm sending your body right back to them. You wonder what's happening, I'm flipping new syllables, acronyms. I guess I'm practicing, you fuckers are fucking embarrassing. You ain't gonna be happy when I'm on top and I'm gonna be popping, or you gonna be dropping like birds dropping all on your conscience. All you niggas are watching, I'm spitting, slapping all on your coffin. I repeat, you lost and you fucking sleeping, your pillow talking and you dream all day, that's per year. All your whole niggas in your purse here. I'm your favorite rapper's worst fear. Raised in the mud, crying dirt tears. Just a bunch of kids in a high chair. Couldn't get a buzz even if you had light year. Wouldn't get no love even if your heart's right here. Niggas got guns, don't nobody wanna fight fair, no. Hit him with the Ric Flair and a suplex. I ain't never been scared, bitch, you're ruthless. Raised by the ghetto, know some games that'll get him. Split him right down the middle like a fucking duplex. Breaking nigga toes, make him do the two-step. Crib full of hoes, now I feel like you have. Got a bad stripper bitch, all we do is have sex. And she loves sucking dick, so I call her loose neck. Making a panic with my shit and I'm flipping the bandages. I'm ready to handle and dismantle and crushing and vanishing. I hit him and slam him in the walls and I got him enchanted in my fucking hands. And I'm holding him and banging and slamming. Killing him in the ambulance, they're dying, they bleeding, they trembling. I'm really sick and I got him stiff as a fucking mannequin. I paint a picture, Picasso vision all on my ceiling. I got him swinging, they on my dick and grabbing my pants again. I own a dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. I ain't Spanish, but I know the lingo. Atlantic told me that my flow 100, but my album ain't coming unless I got a fucking single. Well, I don't give a fuck about no hit record. I'ma just remix y'all shit and get big off it. I'ma just murder every motherfucking beat while I'm dreaming, get paid in my motherfucking sleep. Goddamn. Gucci gang, Louis gang, Fendi gang, Dolce gang, Sachi gang, Prada gang, lot of gangs. I don't really fuck with no brand names. Join about to go on a rampage, ooh. They don't wanna see me let the chopper bang, whoa. Get this bitch jumping like Shabba Rank, yeah. What's a little pump to a rocket flame, woo. Gucci gang, Fendi gang, Prada gang, yeah. All you new rappers don't talk about shit except doing drugs. Wonder how you got a name, huh? Sipping lean, take an E, Percocet, purple drink, Xanax, everything sound the same, fuck. Bunch of drug addicts in the house of pain. And all you niggas suffer till you pop a vein, huh? Gucci gang, Fendi gang, Prada gang, woo. I don't really fuck with no brand names, yeah.